they have been, I would say, hurting this guest from the very, very beginning.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Airing of Grievances. My name is Eric Reamer. That's Robert Grieve. And as always, it's a privilege to have you join us today. We appreciate when you take time out of your day to join us for ours. If you haven't done so yet, we encourage you to click the subscribe button, hit the notify bell. That lets you know that we've uploaded something new. And if you haven't done it yet, we'd also love if you would hit the thumbs up for this video. That lets YouTube know that this is worth sharing, and we're grateful for it. On that note, happy Saturday to you.
Happy Saturday to you, my dear friends. Happy Saturday to you.
All right. So, Rob, today we have, the band is back together again after the last couple of weeks. Grateful to connect with you here.
Great job last week. Thank you so much.
Well, and we'll both be replying during the premiere. So if you want to chat with us, we will be here Saturday morning at 9:30 a.m. to have that conversation with you during that premiere. Today we're going to provide an update to the blue Subaru Forester, brand new Subaru.
2023 temp tag in the window.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brand new.
And if you haven't seen the videos that we've made about this prior, those links will be involved in the description box below. But just to catch you up on speed, this is a brand new 23 that was T-boned on the driver's side.
Sure, we can show a picture of the...
Absolutely.
Yep.
And it was... there was a back and forth between the insurance company, which happened to be Geico, and us. We were saying we're going to repair it the way that Subaru says that it should be repaired.
Yes.
The insurance adjuster insisted that we could section or cut the rocker panel, which is a combination of 2 or 3 different high-strength steel.
All different kinds.
Yeah, and...
several different metals, several different layers.
Back and forth, back and forth. The insurer came back and agreed that we should do it the proper way.
Yes, they did. In writing.
In writing. And then they persuaded the guest to take that car to another shop, which just happens to be an insurance DRP or partner shop, where they threw all of their promises out the window.
Yes.
And that shop...
did it the way they wanted to do it to begin with.
Did it the way the insurance wanted to do it. Because the insurance is the one that pays that shop.
Yeah.
And they're under contractual agreement.
Not to argue with them, just do it the way they want.
Right. And in the end, we showed you in our last video the...
Not last week, the week before.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Showed you the horrible job of what looked like a decent repair.
Very, very nice.
But when you got right down to it, structurally unsound, and that's where we pick up this story today.
Yeah, there's lots of things to know here, and again, this being a consumer value video, directed to help you, the consumer, understand some of the stuff that goes behind the curtain.
Right.
Yeah. So we use estimating systems. Now, I'm not a big fan of the word estimating.
Sure.
But you can't change the vernacular on the system that you use.
It is the vernacular of the industry.
Yeah. So while an insurance company writes an estimate,
yes,
a repair facility should write a repair plan or a blueprint.
Okay.
Okay? So the estimating system is a guide, all right? And both the shops and the insurers mostly use the same one, but there are, 3 major ones.
Okay.
And yeah, so in this particular case, we both used the same one. Geico and us. We both used the same one.
Okay.
And we had written the estimate to replace the rocker panel because we went into the Subaru procedures, and the Subaru's procedures did not have a sectioning point in order. It's a welded in piece.
Right, and it's one piece.
It's one piece, and it's the whole length of the side of the vehicle.
Yes.
So sectioning it would be cutting it someplace other than putting the whole thing in.
Got it.
And there is no procedure in Subaru to do such a thing.
Okay.
So we wrote to replace the whole thing. The insurer came back, Geico, and put a note under the rocker panel. They selected section of the rocker and put a note here: bent, dented, kinked beyond repair. Section time given by database / manufacturer for rear section where damaged.
Well,
So just put in this much of the piece. This much of the piece.
and they're citing the database, which is
Yep.
the estimating system,
And the manufacturer.
and the manufacturer.
Right.
But the manufacturer says no.
Yeah, they say no, and there is no procedure from the manufacturer to section it. They want you to put the whole thing in.
Right.
And there's strength reasons and considerations of the different types of metals that are behind it that have to be incorporated into welding it on. And
Right.
they want it sectioned in a very, not sectioned. They want it the full put in because that's the safest repair for you, the consumer. Keep
Right.
in mind, this is a brand new vehicle.
Right.
So he wrote this note on here. We immediately fired back a copy of a visual of the procedure that showed that there are no section areas. You have to put the whole thing in. He writes back in an email, okay, we agree. When you put your next sup in, we'll add it in then.
Yep.
So we put the next sup in right away.
Right.
Which at that time they convinced the guest to take it to one of their other shops.
Yes.
Let's just say they convinced them to take it anywhere but here.
That's also.
But they did find a shop. They did make a suggestion.
Yeah.
So that other shop did exactly what Geico wanted to do from the very beginning, which was section it.
Right.
And they did a poor job. So I want to go back to the database. This is the important part of this. And I want to read you. They have a guide on how to use the database, and lots of, I mean, it's thick. What's included, what's not included, how do you go about it, you know, the rationale behind everything.
Sure.
And they have this on sectioning. This is out of the database that we're both using to write estimates and repair plans.
Got it.
So sectioning. Sectioning is an industry-accepted procedure which involves replacing a vehicle's welded body panel, like a quarter, rocker, or a rail, onto an undamaged portion of the vehicle body at a location other than the factory seam. Special care and training is required when sectioning any part due to the wide use of special steels and vehicle design. Repairs of this type should only be performed according to the OEM service procedure. So that's their disclaimer.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
That while they have this line in there, you should always follow the OEM's directions. That's the estimating system saying that.
Right.
And neither the insurer, even though they agreed to,
Right.
and the shop they sent it to,
Right.
contracted with, neither of them paid attention to the OEM procedures and created more damage to this vehicle than it had when it was wrecked.
Right.
And that's a big problem.
You think?
That's a big problem. So here's the update. Last week, they sent out, they did not make it easy. I sent the manager and the original appraiser an email saying, hey, I have the vehicle back. There's some serious deficiencies with this repair. I'd like you to come out and look at it. Their response was, you have to put a sup in.
You have to put a sup in.
We have to put a supplement in. So
Okay.
basically, write something up and send it to us, and then we'll put it in queue and get somebody to come out and look at it
Okay.
like we're going to repair it. We would never re-repair this vehicle. Doesn't even make sense to re-repair this vehicle, in
The
my
damage
opinion.
has been done.
The damage has been done. So, after a week, somebody comes out that has no idea of any of the circumstances, says, hey, I want to look at this car. It says it might need a new rocker, or no idea of any of the going on behind this whole thing.
Wow.
Or what he was walking into. So I showed him the whole thing, told him the whole story. And he takes this, he says, I'm just here to take pictures. And I'll report back to my manager as to what I see and send him the pictures.
Admit to nothing.
Yeah, yep. And although the next day driving into work, I drive by this body shop every day, both ways.
Yep.
And in the morning, driving in, what do I see in their parking lot but a Geico car?
Oh,
So I'm wondering if maybe that guy went over there to talk to them.
entirely possible.
So anyway, the guest gets back in touch with us and says that the shop that did the work has been instructed to pick up the vehicle and they're going to re-repair it correctly.
That's a problem.
Well, with all the damage done to this thing and you couldn't fix it correctly to begin with, what? What?
Yeah. If,
What?
If they did more damage during the quote-unquote repair than the original accident caused in the first place, and they want to take it back to quote-unquote repair it, after you just heard Rob say, we wouldn't attempt it, we would never attempt that.
No.
Yeah, no.
No. The welds are horrific. There's not enough of them. They're not of the right size.
They're
There's
already
no
corroding.
They're corroding. There's no penetration in some of them. It's a death trap.
Yeah.
To anybody sitting in that seat,
Right.
should the same accident happen a second time. It already happened once, so
What are the odds?
it could happen again.
Yeah.
You would hope that it doesn't, but
Right.
You'd especially hope it doesn't to this vehicle.
Absolutely.
In the current condition that it's in, because somebody would be very seriously hurt. But yeah, so just to take it a little bit further, Repair Driven News puts out an article this week, written by Laura Lowry, and
Yep.
she did a hell of a job on this thing. Thank you, Laura. Title, Motor, which is kind of like the guts of the estimating system that we use. That's where they get all the information to put into the estimating
It's the
system.
database.
Database, yeah. Motor removes guidance not backed by Subaru procedures. Somehow or another, that sectioning procedure that the insurance company was hanging their hat on
Right.
is going to be removed because it doesn't follow the manufacturer's guidelines. And I want to give a big shout out to Danny Gridenberg at the DEG for helping connect all the dots, and to the people at Subaru North America for everybody worked together to bring this to light. And
Yeah.
if you put a link, this is an interesting article to read.
Absolutely will. It's in the description box below.
So, yeah, there's a lot going on because of this one car. And there's some fixes that have happened, but the consumer is still not driving their brand new car
Right.
and paying their monthly payments.
Yep.
And does not seem to be getting any assistance from their own insurance company, for which they paid the premiums and have a contract with.
Right.
They have been, I would say, hurting this guest from the very, very beginning because of money. And there it is.
You know, it's a shameful story, and the reason we bring this update to you again is because this happens day in and day out. You can change the names and cars and sometimes even swap the insurance companies, but this is a daily grind. And, you know, God forbid if it ever happens to you, but if it does, you need to be aware of the information that we provide here so that you are better equipped to see the curves before they get here,
Yeah.
right? And make proper decisions, including choosing the right insurance company and knowing the shop, trusting the shop to do the right repair instead of the least expensive at the behest of the insurance company.
Yeah. These cars are so high-tech these days with the metals that they used in different places. What other stuff is welded on, riveted on, what the replacement procedures are. Is it something that's just bolted on, or is it attached in some other way? And keep in mind, everything that's welded together on your vehicle these days is the structure of the vehicle. And this one is badly compromised.
Yeah.
And we aren't going to give up. We will stay on this, and we will bring you more updates as they become available. But I just wanted to... Could you believe that Geico's answer is bring it back to the place that did this to begin with?
It is beyond comprehension, but unfortunately we see it so often that we're well aware of the tactic.
Yeah.
But,
and so the database saying special care and training, I would have added also equipment, is required when sectioning any part due to the wide use of specific, special steels in vehicle design.
Right.
This was all a failure.
Yeah.
On everybody's part so far.
There was no special care given.
No, and the right tools were not used, and apparently there was no education as to the right way to do it.
Yeah. Bad all the
But
way
it was
around.
cheap.
Yeah. Is that what you want? Is that what we're solving for?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Rob, thank you for bringing this to our attention,
Yep.
bringing it back to our attention. And we pray that you never have to deal with any of these things. However, if you do, we're here for you. Don't hesitate to contact us. Here's our phone number, and you can always contact us, talk to us. We can make a recommendation to find you somebody that you can trust in the procedure all the way through. Thank you so much for watching. Rob, happy Saturday to you.
Happy Saturday. My dear friends, happy Saturday to you. We'll see you next Saturday. Have an amazing week. God bless.